So I put in my server, my dev server, that I was gonna try two more things before I guess starting to work on the main project. I just wanted to prototype two more features, and I thought it would like make up the length of another prototype, another couple of days, but I literally got it done in 3 hours. One of which I was like over exaggerating. I first prototyped the ability to excuse me, have a mob chase another, and that's fairly simple. You get a collision box, and if it detects a mob inside, then well, it chases it. I mean, you just you set the position to travel to equal the position of the mob. I mean, it's not that complicated. And you literally, all it is, make something able to run away, is you just reverse that. It's literally this right here, global position minus the global position, versus you go to the chaser equivalent, player global position minus global position. It's silly. The runner has a couple hitbox. One on the very inside, if the thing chasing it actually gets to it, it'll DQ it. This one is detecting if there's a creature chasing it, or if there is something dangerous nearby that it wants to run away from, and this is how far it will run before it stops trying to run away, which happens to be less than the chaser's radius, which, if it detects something that it wants to chase within the boundaries, just chases after it. Easy enough. Let me run it. You'll see. Ignore that in the top left. That's what I'll get to that in a moment. I first just I press Q and I can spawn a green one, which is the runner, and then the red one is the chaser, which I press E, and kind of chases him. Now, the runner is faster, but there are walls. And both of them are just set to randomly walk around. The green one does it a lot less often. The red one is on the prowl, so I made him do it more. And yeah, pretty much work. I did some things to make it work with more than one. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but I can evolve off of it. Plus, not everything is going to chase each other in the same way, so I'm going to find out new ways of making this work. But yeah, they're all just individual nodes that are looking for if whatever node is in their range is part of a certain group. Interesting to watch, I think. Introduce another. I'm not sure they do too well with, I mean, I think they could get pincered really easily. Although you won't usually have a bunch of enemies to be able to pincer like that. And I kind of just, playing around with this is fun. That guy's on top of that guy. They have no obstacle avoidance, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to make it a feature of the game that can't happen. But, like, nothing will avoid obstacles, so it's up to you to line it up like a bowling shot when you pick up a red one and then face it towards a green one. Because all the green one is doing is walking in the opposite direction of. That was a tragic. That was unfortunate. The other thing I tested was, as you can see in the top left, saving your game, which I thought was going to be a hassle. Turns out I found a 2-minute video by a guy named the Dev Worm. I think. Or it's a 6-minute video. You only need 2 minutes of the video to get this to work. And I looked it puts a save file on app or percent app data percent folder. And I looked at BioShock HD on my computer, and it uses the same ini files that I would be using, in Godot anyways. So in terms of saving, if I want about as much security as the original BioShock, it took about 2 minutes to learn. It's literally this is just able to create a save file, and you can store any variable to the Godot.save file. It's so overpowered. And then, of course, you can just load it in when it's needed. And so what I did is I just have a score, pressing up makes it go down, or pressing add makes it go up. Jesus Christ. And then when I press save, file.store variable, it's just writing to a save file, quite literally. I thought it was going to have to be a whole thing with txts, and then I wasn't sure how it was going to be located outside, but truly, if you just put it in user, it works. So let me show it in action. I think there is something already loaded, but I'm gonna add a couple times. Let's count to 5, and then we save it. And then loading wouldn't do anything then, but I add to 8, and I load, and it's at 5 again. I can even close out the project, and because it's going to the app data percent, it's outside of Godot, so it's just a file that I can load from. It's just this easy. Saving on Godot is just this easy, and you just add more variables and just more loading. You can implement this into any script. It's absurd. Dude sacrificed himself. I really want, this is awesome. This is awesome to look at, to watch, to observe. Triple kill. But that's all I thought long and hard about it as to what else I would need to prototype, but I'm imagining the game now. You have a title screen with a play button or your settings, and you press play, and there's a load function that just loads everything that's needed, your captures, your point in the game in terms of the story, what areas you have unlocked. Or even, whenever you load a level, it will also load the areas you have unlocked. Whenever you open the book, load all the pages you've unlocked. I mean, and then what? You walk, you can... I've already figured out how to pick up the creatures, both in terms of doing their mini games, in terms of what they do if you fail them, and picking them up if you succeed. It all looks ugly, but it doesn't take that much more coding, and it takes almost zero more logic to make it look pretty. That's just a matter of actually doing the art. So the only thing I have left to learn during this process is just gonna be modeling stuff and art design. Point is, I think I'm ready to start working on the actual title, and it doesn't feel right. You know, I feel like I should take. I feel like I have more to do. My game, well, it just consists of about 9 days worth of figuring out code, and then it's actually just art stuff from there. It's too fun, is what I'm saying. It's too good of a time. I feel like it should be a much worse of a time, and I'm sure I will have bugs later on, and I will fix them as it comes, but really, there's no major mechanics I can think of that I haven't now figured out how to do. Write a UML diagram, design some enemies, some characters, and stages. That's really fun. It's really fun. And I get to do that now. I'm going to try and do it now. And if I encounter an issue, I'll make like a 30-minute prototype. I don't assume I'm missing an entire portion of the game that I would have to prototype like the last, where I have to make a bunch of different features. I'm gonna preface when I post this to not watch past like 5 minutes. A lot of yapping. Um, I tried to end the I fucking turned in the game. I tried to end the recording.